Welcome to the Sam and Joe VA Show, where we teach women just like you how to start and scale a thriving virtual assistant business.
We're your hosts, Sam and Joe, and get ready to have the control, flexibility, and freedom you've always dreamed of.
Welcome to episode 66. You'll never make it if.
Yeah, we see a lot of virtual assistants every week enter the virtual assistant industry. And we reckon for every 10 we see come in, only 2, possibly at a stretch 3, go on to create thriving businesses that last more than 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
So for those 7 out of 10 that don't make it, there's definitely some traits and some things that we see that probably cause the fact that they haven't gone on to create that thriving business that they thought they were going to.
Mm-hmm. We are going to take you through our list of you'll never make it if. So if you're wondering whether you are going to make it, or you want to really change whether you make it or not, really take note. Grab a pen and paper, take note of these things, and make sure that you are not doing these.
Yeah, because it's never too late. I want to say that. It's never too late to change your mindset. And most of the things that we're going to go through on our list here, it's all about mindset, 100%. So number 1, you'll never make it if you expect this to be an easy ride.
It's not easy. No business is easy. If business was easy, everyone would be doing it. The old saying, right? There are things that you will need to do that will push yourself outside your comfort zone. And if you're not willing to do that, you're not going to make it. You
No.
have to expect that there are going to be things that you find hard, things that you're going to need to do that you don't want to do, but you have to do if you're going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, number 2. You'll never make it if you want someone else to do it all for you.
Yes, we see this a lot. Actually. Men and women coming in, they've got lots of questions. We're there to give them all of the answers that we have, but it's still not enough for some people. It doesn't matter how much information you give this type of person, they're never actually going to use that information to do anything. They're not going to act with that information that they've been given, because deep down, they actually want somebody to come along, not only tell them how to do it, but do it for them as well.
And rescue them. Yeah, rescue them from it. And no matter how many times we say, this is how you find clients, there are still those who are like, yeah, but like, is he just like another way?
Yeah, they don't like the answer that we've given them. The method, the proven method that works 100% of the time if you actually do it, that's all you need. That's all you need. Yeah. Got to do it yourself. No one else is going to do it for you.
Mm-mm.
Okay, you'll never make it if you're always making excuses or blaming others.
Blame, excuses, and denial.
Mm-mm.
Definitely want to stay away from all of those things. Yeah. Making excuses. Oh, but I can't because my kids are not old enough. I don't have any family support. I need to keep upskilling because I don't have enough experience or skills. I can't because this is happening to me, or I have this health issue, or this other person has let me down because I was getting them to do my logo. All of these things about projecting out to other people and other things in your situation as to why you can't do something. Well, guess what? You won't and you can't, because you're going to hang on to those excuses. So if you want to make it, you need to stop blaming Stop having any excuses. Stop denying and get on with it.
Yeah. Stop self-sabotaging yourself. Stop self-sabotaging yourself. There's too many yourselves in there, but you know what I mean. You're your own worst enemy. If you are that one that's always quick with the excuses, or it's always somebody else's fault, you are your own worst enemy in this situation.
You can, if you really want it, you can make stuff happen. There are people who, despite a lot of adversity in their life, they don't use that as an excuse, and they find a way. There is always a way.
Yeah, if you want it bad enough, you will make it happen.
Yeah. All right, next. You'll never make it if you can't get out of your own head and stop overthinking it.
Oh, yes, overthinking it. Look, overthinking it is such a normal thing. I would say the majority of the population at some point has overthought something. So we get it. Like, we overthink things occasionally. But I think the difference between somebody that overthinks things but still goes on to run a successful business is they are aware of it. They go, oh, you know what? I'm inside my head. This is not getting me anywhere. I need to stop this. I need to get outside of my head, and I just need to make a decision. Because you know what? Make indecision. So not making any decision at all is worse than making the wrong decision. You've just got to do it. You've got to stop worrying about failure and rejection and judgment and all those what ifs that could, maybe, probably won't happen if you make a decision. You've just got to go for it. You've just got to put that fear aside, because otherwise you're only going to regret it.
Yeah, overthinking, like, there's no point overthinking, like, oh, what services am I going to provide? Overthinking it for 2 months. Just choose something, and you can always change it later. It is not set in stone. You are the business owner. You get to choose and change and decide whenever you want.
Yeah, so whether that's services or pricing or your niche or lack of niche, if it's your branding colors, your logo, your business name, you name it, you could be overthinking it. But all it's doing is holding you back.
Yep.
Okay, next up. You'll never make it if you don't put yourself out there.
Yes. Virtual assistants hiding behind their screen, their computer, their logo, their branding, their business name. Let's face it, this is a very personal relationship. Your client and a virtual assistant, it is a very trusting, it needs to be a trusting relationship. Are you going to be in their business, seeing things, knowing things? The person who wants to hire a virtual assistant has to be comfortable with you, who you are, your personality, your style, your trustworthiness. You can't do that unless you actually show up and put yourself out there and reach out to people, show your face, say your name online. It's a trusting relationship.
Yeah. And, for those of you listening that are going, oh, but I'm shy. Oh, but I'm not good in social situations. Oh, I don't like networking. I'm not good at speaking in front of people. I'm an introvert. Once again, if you go up to, I think it's number 2 on our list or number 3, these are just excuses. There are ways that you can be putting yourself out there, being the face of your business, getting out of your comfort zone, yes, a little bit, but not to the point where you're having a panic attack before you walk into a room. There are things that you can do. There are ways of networking. There are ways of finding clients that absolutely suit introverts, shy people, people that don't like public speaking.
You have to step up now. If you are going to have a business, you have to step up and put yourself out there. You are going to have Zoom calls. You are going to have to talk money with potential clients. You are going to have to sell the concept to people. You have to put yourself out there. There's just no two ways about it. There's no getting around it.
No. Nope.
All right, next on our list, you'll never make it if you actually aren't any good at the services you provide.
Yeah, this one, this is gonna make some people feel a little bit uncomfortable, I reckon. It's gonna be
Mhm.
confronting for some people, but it's really important it's on our list because as much as we would love every aspiring virtual assistant that we come across, that we meet, that we chat with online, to actually be really good at the services that they are either providing or wish to provide, it isn't always the case. We do come across men and women that actually aren't any good at the services that they want to put out there.
Mm. And we're
Cold
not
hard truth
saying,
time. Cold hard truth time.
yeah, we're not saying that you have to be an expert.
No.
We're saying you have to be good at the services. You
Yeah.
can't be not good at the services or very poor or bad or have no experience whatsoever or know nothing about it. Those you cannot provide those services. What you'll find is that you'll do a bad job, clients won't be happy, they won't refer you, and you'll struggle to find your clients. You just have to be good, and please don't
Mhm.
overthink it. Good means that you've done it before. You've done this in a role before, you've done the training, you've had practice. That's good.
Someone's
That's
paid
not
you.
good.
Someone's paid you for that service, and they've been really happy with the work that you've provided. That's good enough, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Yep, you need to be good enough at the services you provide. But don't go offering something that you've never done before that you think is in demand or you think it would be fun.
Yeah, we see it. We see it, and it's awkward.
Mhm.
It's really awkward. Okay, next up on our list. You'll never make it if you don't set boundaries.
Mm. If you don't set boundaries, you are going to end up working 24/7. You are going to be doing things you don't enjoy doing.
Mhm.
You are going to feel guilty about not spending time with family, friends, etc. And then you're going to wonder, why did I start this business at all? It is tough conversations, it is clear communication, it is understanding your why, it is being very clear on what you do and don't want out of your
Mm.
business, and set those boundaries. Don't answer your phone after hours. Don't message your client back after hours. As soon as you do that very first time, you have now reset your boundaries or removed the boundaries completely. You will be miserable and you will hate your business if you don't.
Yeah, yeah, it's not just time, is it? It's, don't allow your clients to pay you late
Mhm,
consistently month after month. You're allowing that to happen.
mhm.
And there's so many other boundaries. We could do a podcast episode on just all the different boundaries, couldn't
Yeah.
we?
Mhm.
Make a note of that, Joe.
I will. All right. You'll never make it if you don't know your own value.
Know your own value, own your own value. So
Mhm,
this comes down primarily to your pricing. Um, because boy, we talk a lot about pricing. We see a lot of virtual assistants get it wrong, and that's okay because we got it wrong to start off with.
mhm,
But what you've got to make sure is that whatever you start off at, you need to grow and your prices need to grow with you in order for this to be a business that is profitable. You need it to be making money and you need to be charging yourself out at rates and have service plans that are reflective of the skills and experience that you've got. You need to get out of this whole people are only paying you for that hour that you're providing for them. Like, it's not the case. it's all of the knowledge, expert knowledge and skills and experience that you've kind of gathered over the past decade, 20 years, however long
Mhm.
you've been an adult working. That's what they're paying for. It's
Mhm.
all that knowledge and experience and know-how and credit, Oh, I
Mm.
could, yeah. This
And
is a
not only
bugbear. This is
just
a bugbear for me.
not only just the skills and experience you've built up and that value, but the value to the client.
Yeah.
If they are not doing the tasks that you are doing, and they are instead spending their time on hugely valuable things for their business, like revenue generating activities, strategic opportunities, partnerships, etc., the value of what you're doing for that client becomes huge because of what they can now spend their time on instead.
Mm.
So don't forget about that value that the client gets from you bringing your expertise and taking tasks off them.
Yeah, which is why, like, when we say, I'm going to use websites just as an example, because it's one we see a lot. Um, Virtual assistants undercharging for websites. So they might be saying, "Yeah, I'm going to give you an amazing website for $500."
Mm.
Now, not thinking that this client is potentially going to be earning tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands from that website if you're creating websites that convert. Let me say
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
I'm not just talking about a landing page that you've slapped up. So if you're creating a website that actually converts its visitors to paying customers or clients for your own client, the value, the long-term value that they're getting out of that is massive.
Mhm. And the value of you knowing how to create a well converting website, you've built that up over your decade of doing websites or your 5 years
Mm.
of doing websites. So that's hugely valuable. So yeah, please own your value. Otherwise you just won't make it.
You won't, because you're not a charity, and if you're not making money, you're basically in that not-for-profit area, aren't you?
Yep.
So why are you in business if you're not making money?
Mhm.
Mm. Is it my turn or your turn, Joe? I've forgotten.
Your turn, Sam.
My turn, thank you. You'll never make it if you're a poor communicator.
Mm. Most of the problems in your business will come down to communication.
Mhm.
If you can't clearly articulate in an email next steps to a client after they've had a handover with you, that's going to be getting that relationship off to a really bad start. It's going to be a lot of miscommunications and it's not going to go well. If you can't communicate face to face with someone on Zoom and articulate the benefits and the value of hiring a virtual assistant, that is going to be an
Mm.
issue for you. If you can't communicate with team members or subcontractors, then that is going to be a serious issue that's going to stunt your ability to scale. You need to be able to communicate. If you're a poor communicator or you're never really get back to people, you're disorganized, and that makes you a poor communicator, like you're never going to make it.
No, you're not.
All right, next.
Your turn.
Last one on our list.
Oh.
You'll never make it if you never start.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll never make it if you don't start. Once again, we see this daily. And we can tell, actually, the virtual assistants that we see crop up on a regular basis, communicating what they're thinking about, what they think they might be planning on doing, what they think they want to do, how they think they might want to do it, with no actual growth. There's no movement. There's not even a baby steps. We love baby steps.
Mm.
Baby steps is all you need. You've just got to take that first step,
Mhm.
because if you don't, none of this will happen. It won't happen for you at all.
Yeah. Stop thinking and start acting, right?
Yeah.
Consistently take imperfect action in
Yeah.
the tiniest way
Yeah.
is better than not starting at all.
There's never going to be a perfect time. There's never going to be, not even perfect, there's never going to be the right time.
Mm-hmm.
There's always going to be something going on in your life that that you could potentially use to grab onto as an excuse as to why you don't start.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The difference is that there are people who put those excuses aside and they do it anyway, and they just start. They put their fears, doubts all behind them. They make one small step after the other imperfectly, and they get there. They make it.
Yeah. So what small step are you going to do after this podcast episode finishes? One small step to get you going to reach your goal of growing that thriving virtual assistant business.
Yeah, go make it now. There is something on your list that you need to do without the excuses. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Sam and Joe VA Show. If you'd like to find out more, head to the VA Foundry website to check out the Members Club and the amazing resources, training, and coaching.
You can find us at thevafoundry.com.